Libra, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you are being dressed for a new occasion. And the occasion is God is transforming something in your life and giving you a new story. So it's time for you to get rid of your old story. It's almost like when a person is making a lot of money and now they're in a different tax bracket, so different things happen. You are going to a different story. So it's like that same old story that you tell yourself. There's a need for you to take those clothes off and get ready to be dressed for this new story. And the dressing is, there's something about the change in your compassion, your love, your forgiveness, just your overall spirit, how people see you, how people connect with you. People are seeing you totally different. It's because you are being dressed for a new transformation, something new. Also, it's signal for some of you guys. You may feel like you have to be dressed for war, for battle. And while the battle may still be going on, God may dress you in these beautiful clothes, these luxury clothes, these expensive clothes, and you're like, I can't fight in this, but this is not for you to fight in. This is for you to feast in. You have no idea that the war is over. This is something to be excited about. For some of you guys, you think that you're going to be stirred in the wrong direction, and maybe God could be putting you in harm's way. But there's a need for you to kind of like open yourself up and become a little bit more vulnerable, because I feel like you know better than that. I feel like you know better than thinking that he would lead you, dress you in these beautiful clothes to go fight. Somebody is going to go feast. Something is not war. Somebody is not at war. This is really, really something to be excited about. For some of you guys, you're in this place where you can finally afford something, where you can finally have something luxury. This is something to be excited about. It's almost like you're dressed for the party. At first, you were getting dressed for the war. This was clothing yourself spiritually for the war. Now you're clothing yourself spiritually for the feast, for the gathering, for the party, for the love, for all of that stuff there. Okay. So this is something to be really, really excited about. Happy birthday if it is your birthday today. Happy full moon. I will be coming back. Sorry for being tardy for the party today, but I needed some rest. Let's see. Let's see. I have what it takes to reach my potential. I have what it takes to reach my potential. Let's say it together 4 times. I have what it takes to reach my fullest potential. I have what it takes to reach my fullest potential. I have what it takes to reach my fullest potential. I have what it takes to reach my fullest potential. It says, what is my potential and how am I living up to it? What is my potential and how am I living up to it? What is my potential and how am I living up to it? Are you living up to your full potential? There's so much more you can do. But I do feel like, God is taking the wheel. It's almost like a child that's getting dressed by their parent or something. And the child doesn't know, well, why am I dressed so nice? All they notice they have these instructions that, don't wrinkle your shirts and make sure they have no idea that there's a big, big party at school. Or the child's not even worried about that. But you could be worried. The blessing bag, a day full of fun, fun, fun. I told you it's a party here. It's a party. There's an amazing idea that can change your life. Also, you are forming strong and loyal friendships with people. Strong and loyal friendships here. There's a day full of fun, fun, fun today. All right. I'm going into the Kipper today. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, marriage. Commitment. Is somebody getting dressed for a marriage? If somebody could be dressed in real formal, something is real formal. There's a distinct difference in how you're dressing. It's different when you're dressed regularly and you're dressed for actually a marriage, a celebration like that. You don't go into this place just dressed casually. Yeah, there's some place that you just don't go dressed casually. You have to let people know who you are before you even open your mouth. Or you have to let people know that you're here for a special, or people before you even open your mouth, they know that you're here for a special occasion. Before you even get to the place, let's say you stop at the gas station, there's people who see you know, or you have to stop at a store and get something or whatever. If you're dressed for a special occasion, people know that you're going somewhere special. Think about that. You're about to be dressed in a way where people know that you are going somewhere special. This is symbolic to like a new story here. It's a whole new story. Your story is changing. You have done the work. You are doing the work. It's like people know before you even open your mouth. It's how you're dressed. It's how God is dressing you. And then I think about addressing. It's how you're addressed too. For some of you guys, your address could definitely be changing too. Like this is some type of victory. Like people already know before you even say something. From afar, they see you dressed. They say, oh, that person's dressed nice. I wonder where they're going or where they're coming from. Or do they always dress like this? But I feel like for some of you guys, if it's the bride or the groom, this is a special occasion. Everybody know this transition in the person's life. So this is the transition in your life that's happening. Picture if you were dressed in a wedding gown and for some reason you had to stop or run somewhere, or you kept the gown on, or a very, very expensive gown. A person knows the occasion. They already know. You got the Knight of Wands. Something changes really, really fast. And justice is at the bottom of the deck. And I feel like for some of you guys, justice is going to sweep right in. Right before your eyes. In the most unexpected ways, something happens. Something comes right into you. There's a person who's keeping God is telling you to stay wise and to tune into yourself, your inner feelings, and not get caught up in the outer conflict. There's some type of outer conflict that's happening. And this could be outer beyond your spiritual, beyond like when you're in your like right mind, you can have some conflict within, or this is an actual conflict happening outside of you. All right. First, I want to go into the ancestors, the angels and ancestors oracle deck. And then I'm going to go into the rose oracle. And then we also going to go into the moonology. It is a full moon today. I think, what is this? Is this called the super blood moon? Let me see. I'm going to come back on and do a moon reading, but it's a super moon. A super full moon. I'm hearing somebody is just discouraged. Just get dressed. What's the morning inspo for Libra? You are the light. You have the Lord. In career, take charge with authority. You have the ego when it comes to love. Oh, you have the hermit in the spiritual placement. It's time to recharge and retreat. The message from God is wait for important information. Wait for some type of information. Also, what's coming towards you is the druid. You're going to be holding your space. Holding the space. Staying your post. And overall energy is the mirror guardian. It's time to self-reflect. You have the trader. Exchange energy to create abundance. There's a need for you to become the energy that you want to see in the room. Become the love. Become the peace. Become the understanding. Become the light. The white witch, that's the person who is the light in the room no matter what. You know how on the movies we see the bad witch, the good witch? This is the good witch. This is you taking the higher road and choosing light. Remove yourself from lower energy experiences. For some of you guys, it's a place of just removing yourself from lower energy experiences. The maiden is a gentle, innocent, and pure aspect of the goddess, a loving soul who wants nothing but the best for the whole earth. Here she is joined by a horned owl, showing that she's willing to respect those with more wisdom and experience than she has. But she's also willing to trust what she feels to be right within. Within this card, you are being reminded of the goodness within. This is a reminder for you that no matter what's happening to you, you have a choice. Choose not to be pulled in dramas, bickering, or energies that are just going to limit your joy. If you are surrounded by people who are hostile towards you or someone else, or you are in a negative situation, perhaps in your workspace, you are being invited to be the light. You are an incredible person who can really bring light. So, how can you change the energy? How can you redirect the conversation to love? How can you protect yourself? How can you help the person that is being picked on? Or are you the one who is guilty of causing a drama? You will know the answers. Know also that you are being encouraged to shine the light you were born to share. So right now you're focusing on your light energy. Your positive energy, your positive nature. Instead of the needing to be right, you choose to be light. To be the good energy in the room, turning conversation, redirecting energies. And this has been happening to me lately, and I don't know if this has been happening to you, but I'll express it. I can't have certain conversations anymore. And it comes into my body like some types of, it doesn't feel good in my body when I allow myself to have certain conversations. And I have to kind of like distance myself or protect myself from a lot of certain energies out there that I can't quite have, these conversations. And they're regular conversations, but it's just so draining. And it reminds me of Florence Scovel Shen. And she talks about how she used to have these conversations with a friend until she learned about the law of attraction, and she learned how costly those conversations are. And she can't have those anymore. Those types of conversations where you talk and you dwell about your problems and everything is bad and everything is this and everything is whatever. I'm learning how to try to redirect the energy without making a person feel like they are being abandoned or neglected or something. But if I don't know how to redirect the energy, or the energy is clearly not being redirected, then I just have to kind of like take a step back. Yeah, I have to kind of like take a step back from a situation. And you may have to take a step back from a certain type of situation because my heart's just not there anymore. Yeah, it's just not there. And I'm just learning to kind of like filter. And then sometimes when it gets to me, and the next thing you know, I'm complaining. I'm this. Energies are really, really sensitive, especially in areas where you're still working on certain things. It's kind of like being around a person, like if you're on a diet. I just used this example with my sister that I was talking. You're on a diet. Sometimes you got to seclude yourself from the people that you used to, eat with, that can influence you to just taste this, just taste that, and go here and do this and until you have that level of self-control. So while I'm in this beginning stages of going through this transition, I have to kind of limit myself until I have that bit of self-control. And that's okay, and that's not weak. Sometimes we get into things, or we try to prove our bravado and be around situations that we know we can't, that we know we cannot deal with, and be in relationships that we know we can't be in, show up in situations that we know we can't, just because we are refusing to feel weak, to feel vulnerable. When you admit that this doesn't feel right with me, I don't like how this feels, I'm not ready for this conversation, or I don't like the tone of this conversation. It's a level of vulnerability. And sometimes we fight that. We even fight that within ourselves, to know ourselves, to know the things that are going to hurt. And I was just talking to a friend of mine, and he did ask me, why don't he see me really complain about, like, not even complain, or like just go to a space when it comes to like relationships, and go to that space of like, back and forth again, da da da. And I replied to him that I can't allow a person to do that to me. Now, giving, you do give, you get hurt when you're in certain relationships or whatever. But once I feel like a person is kind of like switching my switch, like you can turn me on, turn me off, I don't want nobody to have that much control and power over me. And of course, it may sound, because I used to be in a place where I couldn't find my power in that, and the person had so much power over me. You can move me any type of way you wanted to, and I went through that for a long time, a long time. So to get here is grace. But I just know myself, and I know what I can't handle. I don't care how pretty, shiny, fiery, spontaneous something is. I know what I cannot handle truly on the inside. And I know that sometimes looks can be deceiving. Sometimes things are deceiving, and I may get myself in things and then be hurting myself on the inside. So I know the things that aren't okay with me on the inside. And this comes from self-love, because you're not going to allow a person to do to you what you wouldn't do to you. That is absurd. Think about that. Confirmation. Think about that. Think about the things that you may even be going through. You aren't going to allow a person to do to you what you wouldn't do to yourself. And so for some of you guys that can be going through a lot of stuff, think about your relationship. It's the relationship that you have with yourself that's even attracting this, because God wants you to see, stop it. This is painful. This hurts. This is basically what you're doing on yourself on the outside. If you were a person outside of yourself treating the way that you treat yourself, this is what it would look like. So even still in that same sentence that I won't allow a person to treat me how I treat myself, I still know I need to love myself better. It's no height. But it's certain things that I just know I'm not going there. Certain people, certain lifestyles that I know I can't deal with the person who talks to me this way. I can't deal with the person who does this. And you know, sometimes I look at people like, why, are you crazy? Like, it's certain things that I just know I would not be able to do. So I don't, you know. And that may sound, I don't know if that sounds controlling, or it may sound cold, like, wow, love. I mean, sometimes love is not enough. And I'm not even going to, like, if you're a certain type of person, or this is a certain type of energy that you're pulling out, let me know you understand. If that was a certain type of energy that you're putting out, I'm just not going to engage in that energy with you, because I know what that energy is going to leave me. I know I'm going to get into my, let me try to fix, and let me try to heal, and let me try to, and I'm just not going to do that to myself. Easier said than done. Still working in these areas, but I know, you guys know, y'all know the stuff. I was about to cuss. Y'all know the stuff that y'all just would not deal with, and you can go see you see a person or a friend, and you're like, wow, dang, they dealing with that. They must be strong, because I know me, I wouldn't be able to. It's like, it's that. Even not saying that all my situations are perfect or whatever. It's just that I just know exactly what I cannot deal with at the moment. And when we was talking about it, it's like, why don't you go? Why don't I ever hear you going through this? I'm like, oh, I don't deal with people that's a red flag for me. I'm out. Verbal abuse, I'm out. I can't do it. I dealt with that. I'm out. I'm trying to get to this emotionally, you know, unavailability and, you know, stuff like that to a T. I kind of boosted it a little bit, but it still needs work. Moment of transparency. It still needs a lot of work. And that's because sometimes I'm emotionally unavailable. I will turn it off. And I'm pretty sure people know that. Like, this girl will go like, adios. I will turn it off. Sometimes I don't have the emotional capacity to deal with certain things. I have to turn it off. I'm just such like, I be feeling everything, and I have to turn it off to kind of like get things done, to focus on me, to see what's happening with me, you know, instead of trying to heal the whole world. You have Lord and career. This is take charge with authority. You have given permission. This is also a level of dressing. For some of you guys, you are the reason why you can't get the job is because you keep on applying to be like the worker. You're supposed to be the boss. See if there's some higher positions. You're being dressed spiritually to take charge in your career, to take authority in your career. You're supposed to be in the place of authority when it comes to career. There's a need for you to see from an eagle's point of view, a higher perspective about your love relationships, your close relationships. Look at that from a higher perspective, not in your problems, but outside of yourself. What are you doing? And this is so you can get a good look at you. Every time I see the eagle, it reminds me of meditation. And this is when you look outside of yourself. You can see yourself sitting down on the, you know, when you get to that level of, you know, heightened, what is it called? Is it hypnosis? I'm not sure. But you get to this level of heightened, like, meditation, where you can kind of, it almost looks like your spirit comes out of your body. And then you can see yourself in the room. For some of you guys, you need to look at how you are in your relationships. Are you being the light in your relationships? You have a choice. You have a choice. Sometimes we forget that we have a choice. You have a choice. You have the ability to choose how you want to show up every single time. And then you're being dressed like royalty. So there's a time where you look like royalty. And I just been having this real like queen type of essence, this royal type of essence of this deep femininity energy. That's just amazing. On the spiritual plane, you have the Hermit. It's time for you to recharge, retreat. There's a need for you to meditate today. Spirit is telling you, God is telling you to wait for some information. God is going to send you some type of information. There's a need for you to wait. There's important information. All right. You have the Druid. I was watching a sermon yesterday, and it was about holding your space. Don't make any sudden movements, sudden changes. Stand strong. Know where you are. Knowing you are where you are supposed to be. This is the ancient wise one. You are being guided to dig deep and hold your station. If you're wondering what to do next or have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding in your life, it's time to shift your perceptions and move back to a state of trust. Don't change your plans or do anything drastic. Just trust in the process and let everything happen as it needs to before taking any more steps. Think of a tree. It has strong roots, yet continues to grow and bear fruit. Your life will be a reflection of this. And overall, you have the Mirror Guardian. This is the time of reflection. I just think about Scorpio. Scorpios. Scorpio season. I just think Scorpio season is like deep reflection. Deep, deep, deep reflection. The Mirror Guardian is looking at herself. Notice the only person in the mirror is herself. Your strengths and challenges and how far you've come. And also, this is time for you to recognize your gift. This is a time for you to see yourself as angels do. This is why you're being dressed so differently. You are not just who you think you are. You are way more powerful. And you may be thinking like, why am I dressed in these, ball? Why am I dressed in a wedding dress? Why am I in a tux? Why do I have this garment where I can barely sit or barely move, or I can only move or walk a certain way? Think about how graceful. You can only move a certain way in these clothes. You can only walk but so fast in these clothes. You can only speak a certain way in these clothes. Think about the queen stuff, my favorite stuff to get into. The Queen and King shows where they have that, not saying put on that girdle, but it's this age. Maybe it may be a faja. I prefer a faja. I don't care. I'm going to put it on. You have on some type of garment. And, the queens, they have, they corsets. That's the reason why they're talking so slow. That's the reason why they're so, they have to focus on their breathing. It's the way that they're dressed. I'm pretty sure when they're dressed regularly, they can talk a little faster. They sit and slouch down. But for this time, for this occasion, when you step out the house dressed like a queen, there's an attitude that comes with it. When you step out the house dressed like a king, there's an attitude that comes with it. And that is why our elders told us to make sure we go out the house like we're somebody, because there's an attitude that flows along with it. It's an extra pep in your step. You may walk a little bit. You may walk in the room with your head held high. You may speak to certain people. It's an attitude that goes with some type of clothing. With the way that you're dressed. We all know this. We know how we dress once our hair done, nails done. We got some nice clothes on. Don't let the outfit be nice. It's a different ball game. Versus you trying to hide, where you just threw something on your head real quick. You got sweats on, you don't got a bra on or something like that, and you're trying to run into the store real quick, get out. You ain't trying to make no contact. You ain't trying to talk to nobody. You trying to get in and get out. No, this is not one of those. All right, I'm going into the Rose Oracle. Tell me more about the White Witch. Be the light and plant yourself here. Embodiment. Release the petals. This is a transformation, a death and rebirth, shedding, all change. Be the light in the room. Get used to being the light. Get used to being the positivity. Get used to being the love. Get used to redirecting the energy back to love. And plant yourself here spiritually. Ground yourself. Embody it. Wow. Healing the mother line. Ancestral healing work. The mother line. Growing up. Okay, I gotta read this. I gotta read how you're healing the mother line right now, because that just sounds beautiful. Healing the mother line. It says we're living in a time of complex healing, especially when it comes to the mother line. Collectively, we're facing the intergenerational trauma that colonialism and patriarchy have imprinted on us. So many born to mothers who are not mothered themselves. It's time to mend the chain. So many of our ancestral lines have experienced brutal persecution and separation from the sacred feminine. We've been starved of the great mother's unwavering embrace and instead told to look only to a male god in the sky. So many were not taught to see the sacred in all things and the feminine in all her stages as sacred, powerful, and holy. This way of living has gone on for far too long. And we're all being called to heal it on behalf of our ancestors, past and emerging. Healing is possible. It may not be straightforward or easy, but it is possible. It can be felt forward and back. Your ancestors, past and future, are singing with you. It's time to release our mothers all the way back for what they may not have been able to give, to find a way to cultivate the loving mother within, to treat ourselves with the same deep reverence, adoration, understanding, and compassion that we long for all along. You can be that for yourself today. You can meet yourself where others could not. And as you do, future ancestors will bless you for finding the courage to release and heal deep. You're healing. You're healing. Your light heals this mother line. And this is a reminder that you are not broken. Healing is happening. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to be it's okay to not want to fight. It's okay to want to direct the energy back to love. All right. Tell me more about Lord. Take charge with authority. You're supposed to be in a level of authority. You have the Rose Garden. This is innocence, forgiveness. Be gentle with yourself. The wild rose, do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness, and you are untamed here. Come to me. Attracting like a rose, receive abundance desires. For some of you guys, you have this desires to lead, to take some type of authority role, authority position in career, and this is coming to you. This is attracting to you. It's attracting you like a wildfire. Also, for some of you guys, this is you're going to have like some type of second bloom. There is some type of second chance. Okay, tell me more about Eagle. Some type of opportunity isn't over. You have the Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity. There's a need for you to see something from a higher perspective. The moment that you see something from a higher perspective, you're able to have some type of clarity. You're able to even have a fresh look at your relationships and have a fresh start with a relationship. It's almost like relationships happen. It's almost like relationships become anew. But there is a need for you to kind of see yourself from a high vision. For some of you guys, you have the rose of Venus, and this is alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. For some of you guys, this is harmony for you. You have found the right relationship, whether this is in friendship, whether this is in love. This is something that's right for you, but there's a need for you to look at something from a higher perspective, because if you're too in something, too in your details, too in your feelings, too in your this, you may miss it. You may not even understand or see what's happening here. Okay? Tell me more about the Hermit. Creations, realize, right time, harvest, celebrate, recharge, and retreat. You are about to realize your creations. You are about to notice that something is the right time. Trust the seasons. This is a transition. I told you that you are getting dressed for this transition, and this is the celebrations. This is the harvest that you are being dressed for. This was hidden in plain sight. Something was hidden in plain sight for you. There's a need for you to ground yourself so you can hear this type of message that God has for you. If you're not grounded, you're not going to hear it. This is a time for rest, replenishment, sacred waters. For some of you guys, this is the whispers of the mother. So that's why you need to ground yourself. This is a whisper that's coming to you. And I've been hearing these whispers, so subtle. And I'm like, wow, this is a new voice. There's a need for you to quiet yourself within, quiet your mind. You have creativity, ideas, inspiration. Someone's an artist. Somebody's a writer. Somebody could have a channel, or somebody channels, okay? So you're going to get some type of inspiration or these whispers to do these things. And wait for some important information here. Yes, this is also hidden in plain sight. All you have to, it's almost like your heart has been whispering to you, but everything else has been just so loud. Tell me more about the Druids. The child within, inner mother, innocence, gentleness, tenderness. Hold the space for the child within, the sacred union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. How your inner relationships affect your outer relationships. It looks like because you are changing on the inside, your outer relationships are definitely changing here. There's a need for you to tend to yourself. For some of you guys, this is how you're leaving yourself. You see how it's not watered here? You're not watering yourself. Also, you have answered the call, leadership, empowerment, and soul gifts. You are anointed. All right? Anointed one. The anointed one. Tell me more about the mirror guardian. Sophia. It's time for you to see some type of divine plan, wisdom, intelligence, destiny, and it's right in front of you. There's also some type of soul gifts. This void here, this place of darkness, is actually a secret beginning. You're actually just getting started. And this is also the right relationship too. You're seeing this inside of yourself and outside of yourself. Being in total harmony. All right. Let's get a card for the moon. A card for the moon. For each placement, let's go to see. We'll see what's highlighting the sign that's highlighting in this area. And also, you know, the message that's highlighting here. All right, tell me more about your self-placement. The self-placement. What's coming up from the full moon for Libra in the self placement. A fiery climax in Aries. Aries is very, very significant. Something's about to heighten. Aries, a fire sign, fiery climax being the light. For some of you guys, this is our sister sign, so this could be shadow, full moon in Aries here. Don't let your pride get in the way. Show the world the real you. You are the light in the room. Show the world the healing. Remember, we're healing the mother line. You are healing yourself. What's coming up for the moon in career? What's the message for Libra? What do you need to release? The waning moon. There's something that you need to release in order to take this level of authority. You got your North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. Your commitment to you is being tested. Your commitment to what you want is being tested right now. All right, let's see. What's the moon message for love for Libra? You have your dreams need a practical plan, and you have the full moon in Taurus. There could be a Taurus here. Also, you got Scorpio, too. I told you I was feeling Scorpio at the bottom. Work through some type of fears. There needs to be some type of practical plan, or something needs to be kind of like, or for some of you guys, you need to show up every day for something. It's something that's not being shown up every day. That's why there's a need for you to, something that's out of order. I'm also getting that. Don't let your pride get in the way when it comes to this love relationship. I'm also seeing Leo, and I'm also seeing Cancer. There's a personal issue that's going on that reaches resolution. It's a moon message, spiritual plane. You got the dismantling moon. Take time to breathe out. Breathe. Conclusions are in reach, and believe in the impossible here. Got the full moon eclipse. Believe in the impossible here. And the blue moon. Want something that comes around for you, that comes around once in a blue moon. This is once in a blue moon that this thing happens like this. Somebody's extremely lucky. All right? It's a moon message for the advice from God. Let's see. This is a time for healing. Adjustments are required. It's a time for healing. It's a time for you to make some type of adjustments. Believe in the impossible once in a blue moon. For this thing, this is coming from some type of, so on the spiritual plane, and the advice from God is that there's something that's going to happen that happens once in a blue moon. Take time to breathe. Take time to retreat. Take all the time you need to handle this. There's going to be some adjustment that needs to happen, like you're dressed differently. So there needs to be a different attitude, a different action, a different even way of speech of how you talk, how you communicate with other people. Something comes around once in a blue moon, and it's coming around for you. All right. What's coming towards luck? You got the new moon in the Sagittarius. Sagittarius could definitely be very, very big. Sagittarius is here. You have emotions running high. And luck is on your side. Luck is coming to you. Also, Gemini. The answers that you need are coming towards you. So a Gemini could definitely be significant. All right. The overall message is, let's see. Overall message is, don't let your pride get in the way. Full moon in Leo. A Leo can be very, very, significant here. Don't let your pride get in the way. Also, you have work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. And prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. So Leo, Scorpio, Taurus here, what's in the middle. Scorpio, it's time to release negativity. Don't let your pride. Remember, be the white witch, the light in the room. Remembering you have a choice. Remember that you can direct the conversation in love. It's given like you are the director. Are you sent here to redirect the energy? To redirect the energy to love. All right, here we go. You have positivity, faith, and optimism. You open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. Do not allow negative energy or temporary setbacks to interfere with the path that you're on. Keep the faith and keep going. It says sever vows of poverty. Dear one, there's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty, or self-denial that you may have made, consciously or unconsciously, in any lifetime. And as you do so, all effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all directions of time. And visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, helpful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience here. All right. So that is your message. I hope this reading resonates. If it does, make sure you give this reading a big thumbs up and make sure you guys are subscribed. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.